Welcome back to my channel. I am Amanda. I am in the Dallas, Texas suburbs in Zone 8A. Today we will be planting a Gala apple tree from my dear friend Joey, who sent me this tree for my birthday. I know it's not an ideal time to be planting a tree because it is really hot. However, today it is nice and cool, probably about 75 degrees right now. I know it'll probably warm up and I'll probably still stress this plant because the summer is hot and it's only cool today probably. But we are going to get this planted. I did move the tomatoes that I had over here. We will be planting it over here. Eventually, I do want this area to be my backyard orchard. I am going to keep these trees pruned and small and a manageable size so I can always reach the top. So when I move the tomatoes, you can see there's some roots that have grown through, and here's a root that grew through the landscaping fabric, quite interestingly wove itself through. So I think what we're going to do is take this box cutting knife and make an X in the landscaping fabric to be able to dig through. We need a hole twice as wide as this pot and just as deep as the pot. So this is my husband Jim, who is going to help, or actually just plant the tree for me. I'm saying he's helping, but he is doing all the work. We have only planted one other tree, and it was at our old house many years ago. So this is a second tree for us. So that looks about right. So we have the landscaping fabric just pulled back. We are going to leave the landscaping fabric here because it'll just help reduce the weeds around the tree. Okay, so what I'm going to do before we take this tree out, we haven't even dug the hole yet. I am going to mark with a Sharpie marker kind of where the mulch is on the tree, so that way we know not to bury the tree any higher than that. So the unfortunate thing about our yard is that we have lots of concrete that's in our yard from construction of our house, and it has been a pain when we were digging out this whole area for my garden beds, and it will continue to be an issue as we're planting trees. Hopefully this isn't a showstopper for this location for this tree. We shall see. So my friend has asked that I name this tree Lion. So we will name this tree officially Lion. It is a Gala apple tree. It is the first tree to be planted at this location by me. Now, of course, I have two trees up front that are oak trees by the builder. So now we're just adding the soil to melt dirt more, and around where we're doing some additional building with the landscape timbers and stuff. Yeah, it sounds like there's lots of concrete under there. So Jim thinks there's a piece of concrete that completely covers the bottom of this hole. So I hope that's not the case. We have pulled out some giant chunks of concrete before. Oh, that's bad sounds. It sounds like concrete. That's a huge piece of concrete. Holy cow. Wow. Jim says there's another piece of concrete behind this one that it's rubbing against. This is one of the reasons I can't have an in-ground garden. So much concrete.
Worm?
Sure. Little earthworm. Oh boy. Look at that chunk of concrete. It's another fairly large piece there. All right, so we have a little bit of a pile of the native soil right here, and we have our hole right here. Now we're going to do a test fit. That looks pretty good. Are you happy with that?
Still laying down.
Okay. Let's see, I think you probably want to use your fingers to kind of open up the root ball at the bottom. And just, okay. Okay, so we're just going to backfill this mostly with some compost and a mix of the native soil. We'll see how much that's going to take. This is about half a bag of compost. Just dump it in, Jim.
Yes, ma'am.
This is the just natural mushroom compost that I get at Lowe's. Okay, so I'm gonna step around the tree to kind of pack it in so there's no air pockets. Might need to add a little bit more soil. Where's our mark on the tree? Do you see it? I see it down there. This is why it's always a good idea to mark your tree so you know where your soil line should be. So we're probably pretty good there. Like we could add just a touch more, but it's probably going to compact a little bit, so we probably do want to add more because as it gets watered and stuff. So this is all the concrete that we got from the hole. We have these large pieces and then all these small pieces. There might be a couple of rocks in here as well. I think we're going to use some topsoil. So we're just topping this off with the leftover compost from the bag just because it was convenient. And we're going to use the bag of topsoil, probably not all of it. We're just going to use a little bit here, and then we have kind of a low spot over here that we're just going to fill in. I am going to flip the landscaping fabric back over if I can find all the pieces. I guess and just kind of help prevent some grass probably is what it's going to come down to, grass growing here. Okay, so now I am just going to water this tree. And then give it a nice healthy watering here. Okay, so I got this tree stake at Lowe's. It's a 6-foot stake, and I just pushed it in away from where the root ball is, and it went in really easily. I didn't have to use anything, and it's not like the sturdiest thing, but it will do. So what I'm going to do is take this Velcro fastener, and this is meant for like holding up tomatoes, which is how I tied my tomatoes to the bamboo. So my tree's looking a little bit sad. I did water it this morning after I planted, but it's still a little bit sad. That's to be expected though. I'm just going to take my box cutter. So funny story, I had a pair of scissors, I still had a pair of scissors, which is super, super sharp. Great scissors, by the way. I will link them in the description below. However, they're super sharp, and I kept cutting myself when I was opening boxes. So then I bought a box cutter, which actually works really well for opening packages. So I just bought this pine bark mulch from Lowe's. And I need to leave about a 3-inch diameter around the base of the tree. I'm just going to leave a little well around the center over here. You don't want to rot your tree. The mulch will help keep the water in. You definitely want about 6 inches high of mulch. I might open the other bag. So we're gonna call this good. I will give it another water. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And hit that notification bell so you get notified when I post new videos.